Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the things you should not do if you plan on visiting Thailand. So don't, if you can, come visit in the month of March and April, simply because that is when it is very smoky here and it's kind of miserable. So if you're only going to spend a short amount of time here in Thailand, don't pick March or April. Don't get upset whenever your food doesn't get brought out at the same time. So if there's a table of 4 people and they bring out one plate of food and then it's 10 more minutes before they bring out the other food, or one person gets theirs 5 minutes later, the other person 5 minutes later, the other person 10 minutes later, the 4th person. That is the way things are done here in Thailand. Don't get mad about it, just know it's going to happen. Another thing you shouldn't do, don't bother bringing bug repellent with you when you come to Thailand. Reason being is they have good stuff that they sell here that works great. Hey, it's Thai bug repellent for Thai bugs. So they know exactly what keeps them away, and you can get them at almost every 7-Eleven, so it's easy to find around here. So there would be no need for you to pack up a lot of bug repellent that could possibly get spilled in your luggage or your carry-on or wherever you're going to take it. You can buy it right here at 7-Eleven in Thailand. So if you're buying things at a marketplace and the price is not listed, then don't take the first price that is offered for you. Now it's time to negotiate. So don't pay the first price if it's not listed. Don't come to Thailand without insurance coverage. If you have insurance in your home country and you're coming over here even for a short time, make sure that your insurance will cover you while you are here. If not, make sure you have travel insurance. There's a link down in the description for a travel insurance company that we do recommend, and that is for coming here to Thailand. And you can go on there and figure out how much that insurance would be for your stay. And I would definitely say to do it because there's a lot of foreigners that come here to Thailand on vacation that end up getting hurt in an accident, fill in the blank, because they're outside doing all this fun stuff. They get hurt here, can't pay their medical bills, and the next thing you know, they've got a GoFundMe page trying to raise money to get them out of the Thai hospital because they can't pay the bill. So check it out, link down in the description if you need an idea of a company, how much travel insurance would be for you. Say you're seeing a vendor and he's got a blanket laid down on the ground and all of the things that he's selling or her is on the ground. Here's something not to do. Don't use your foot to point to what it is you want to buy. It's considered really rude to use your foot that way. So if you want to get the best deal, don't offend them right from the get-go by pointing with your foot. Never leave on your shoes. If you're going inside a building and you see a bunch of shoes already stacked up outside, that's a good indicator that that is a facility that you are required to take your shoes off. To leave your shoes on when you went in this establishment would probably be seen as very rude. So the way to know whether you need to take off your shoes or not, just look to see if there's a bunch of shoes right outside the door of the building you're going to go into or the house. I can almost assure you that 100% of Thai homes will want you to take off your shoes before you enter into the house. Another thing you don't want to do here in Thailand is ride a motorcycle without a helmet. Not only is it just dumb to do, very unsafe, but it's also the law here. So you are supposed to wear a helmet, even though you may see Thais all the time not wearing a helmet. Don't be one of them. Make sure you wear the helmet so you can go home safely after your visit or stay here in Thailand. Now this next one's a hard one to remember, at least, and that is don't point your fingers at things. It's kind of considered rude. So instead of pointing like this, you want to point like this with your whole hand. This is a lot more acceptable here in Thailand than this. This one is frowned upon, so you really don't want to do that. Another thing, when you are haggling for something that you're wanting to buy here in Thailand, don't be arrogant about it. If you raise your voice or really get arrogant with your whole demeanor, you could forget getting the best deal, and it's not necessary. Thailand's more laid back, very laid back. They have what they call a sabai type lifestyle here, which means basically relaxed environment. So being arrogant or mean to get a better price isn't going to work for you, so don't do it. So let's say you're walking down the road and a Thai person passes you by. Don't touch them on the head. Now, seriously, don't touch Thai people on the head. And I could think of the only way you would be touching somebody on the head might be a kid or something like that. But here in Thailand, it's considered rude. So keep your hands to yourself. If you feel like touching somebody's head, don't do it. Don't show your tattoo off if you have a tattoo of Buddha somewhere very conspicuous. You may think it looks cool, and maybe it does look cool, but here in Thailand, they're going to take great offense to that. They do not believe in putting tattoos of Buddha on your skin, so make sure you have those covered up, especially if you plan on visiting the temples here in Thailand. So another thing you might not want to do here in Thailand is overstay your visa. It may be tempting, you don't want to go through all the problems of renewing it or getting more time on, but not only is that going to cost you financially and it could give you legal problems, but it can also get you blackballed from ever coming back to Thailand again. So don't do it. Another thing you want to make sure you don't do here in Thailand, and that would be to leave your passport as collateral. Let's say you're renting a motorcycle or a car, and they say, oh, you can either leave a deposit or you can leave your passport. Don't leave your passport, because if you do get pulled over on your motorcycle, they're going to want to see your passport. The officials will be, to see if you're legal to be in Thailand. You don't want to be without it. Just go ahead and leave the deposit. I've had to do this several times. I've never had a problem getting the deposit back. And I would say make sure that you do take a video while you're getting your motorcycle or car, and you do go around it and take a video of it so you can show all the dings and scratches and everything and have that well documented. And if you do refuse the helmet, make sure that they write that down so they don't look for a helmet from you when you return it when you really never got one. Another thing you shouldn't do is talk negatively about the royal family. If you have something negative to say, just keep it to yourself. It's illegal here in Thailand. It can get you in trouble, even if you post it on social media. So you're better off just not going there. Another thing not to do here in Thailand, and that is pet the soy dogs. Soy dogs are basically street dogs. They're the dogs you see out running around everywhere. Some people want to pet them, and every time I've seen this being done, something bad has happened. The dog does not like to be pet. It's not used to it, and it gets aggressive with you. So your best bet is not to mess with the street dogs, and it will help avoid you getting bitten and having to go to the hospital to get a bunch of shots. So leave the soy dogs alone. Another thing is avoid the tap water. So don't drink the tap water here in Thailand. The Thais, for the most part, don't even drink the tap water. So you want to leave that alone and drink bottled water whenever possible. The ice seems to be okay. I've lived here for almost 3 years. Never had a problem with the ice here. So they do use filtered water for their ice. I'm sure there are places maybe where they don't. So that's not going to be a blanket statement for the whole country of Thailand. But what my point is stay away from the tap water if you can. Next up, I've got some shout outs that I'd like to do to people who have contributed to the channel. First, we're going to start with Buy Me a Coffee. I'd like to thank Johns, and I would like to thank Ivan. So thank you very much for contributing to the channel. Next up, we have Super Thanks. And on that, I'd like to thank 3 people, Govinda, Kim, and Rob LA. So thank you very much, guys, for contributing to the channel. If you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee, link down in the description below. And if you do like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to end this by saying thank you in Thai, which is Khap Khun Khap.